New batch, Brazil 1934 World Cup. Brazil were one of only two nations from South America to return to the World Cup and make the trip to Italy. The other nation was Argentina. Both Brazil and Argentina didn't have to play a qualifying match because both of their opponents, Peru for Brazil and Chile for Argentina, both withdrew. So without having to play a game, a qualifying match, Brazil made the trip to Italy. Brazil were one of the seeded nations along with 7 other nations and took on an unseeded team who were making their World Cup debut, Spain. As I mentioned, unlike the 1930 World Cup, this World Cup was only a knockout competition. I looked into it and only one player, Papelona, was the only returning player from the 1930 squad to make it into the 1934 World Cup team. Also a change of manager. Luis Vaz took over from Pindoro as Brazil's new manager or coach. Brazil had a disappointing 1930 World Cup after surprisingly losing to Yugoslavia in their first game, though they did win their second match against Bolivia, but since both nations lost to Yugoslavia, neither of them could reach the semi-finals. Now in this World Cup in 1934, as mentioned, they took on Spain in the Stadio Luigi Ferraris. The stadium is named after one of the players from Girona. He was a footballer, an engineer and a soldier who passed away in World War I. Currently, Girona and Sampdoria both play their home games at this stadium. Right, so the match between Spain and Brazil. Spain managed to get the better over Brazil, defeating Brazil 3-1 as the unseeded team and making their debut. Jose Iragorri became Spain's very first goal scorer at the World Cup and first player in Spain's history to score 2 goals, and also one of those goals was a penalty. Isidoro Langara also scored for Spain. Brazil did get a consolation goal from Leonidas, who does have a better World Cup at the next one in 1938. But with his goal, it continued a trend for Brazil, and for the World Cup, every World Cup a Brazilian has scored. After this 3-1 win, though, again Spain go through and Brazil get knocked out of another World Cup. Again, another underwhelming performance from Brazil. They do better at the next World Cup in France, reaching their first ever semi-final, being knocked out by the reigning champions at the time, Italy, who then go on to retain the World Cup in 1938. Brazil do eventually host the World Cup themselves. They host the 1950 World Cup, the first World Cup to take place after World War II. They host again in 2014. And currently they are the most successful team at the World Cup, winning a total of 5 World Cups in 4 different continents. 2 of their World Cup wins, one in 1970 in Mexico and again in 1994 in the USA. Both the USA and Mexico will be co-hosting the 2026 World Cup with Canada. Maybe the Brazil could make it a hat-trick of wins in North America. Right, thanks for watching. Appreciate it as usual, and bye.